All right, we got this second one here. Why daughters need fathers.
Oh, here we go.
When I was about 14, my father sat me down and said a prayer audibly before he proceeded to ask me a slew of questions about my morality. He asked how many boys I'd kissed, if I was still a virgin, if I had done any drugs or experimented with alcohol. I wasn't a bad kid, but I had kissed boys by that point in my life, so answering all these questions honestly wasn't too difficult. He then told me that if I had questions about anything, sex, how men operate, how women operate, drugs, alcohol, any of it, that he wanted me to come to him and he would tell me. Many might think that this would have been awkward and embarrassing to have their fathers know this, but for me, my father was so sincere that by the end of the discussion, I really did feel like I could go and ask him about anything and not feel awkward or embarrassed that I had genuine questions. He also stressed to me the importance of guarding my virtue, aka virginity, and explained the best he could how it was important to my future husband. After this conversation, I did begin thinking about my future husband. Started thinking about the attributes that I wanted in him and that I should probably reciprocate and also be that kind of person to him, whoever he may be. For example, if I wanted a virgin, I should be one too. If I wanted a man that would share things I said I valued, such as someone who works, values work to provide for a family, then I should probably become a woman that a man would want to work for and come home to. This is simple logic, and she understood it as a teenager.
Yes.
Yep. You can try to put this into the head of a 30-year-old woman with a gender studies degree, and she will tell you it's patriarchal nonsense.
And they will enjoy their 40 to 80 in box wine and Catland.
Oh, wait. He said it. You know what that means? Oh, shit. I can't stop hitting the play button.
Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
Why, you fucker?
All right.
You had to say it.
Yeah.
Had to say it. Damn it. Okay. Where? I mean, this is great advice.
Yes.
If there's any younger women watching this show, or some younger women who are kind of on the cusp of reaching this point in their life, as a teenager, send them this story. I guarantee you it'll probably be clipped as a short on the archive channel.
They start young. The girls, They do.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah.
Shit, in my generation, some of them were getting boinked by as early as like 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But you're not wrong.
It's pathetic. It really is. It actually wasn't long after this that I did meet my husband. Nice. He had moved to our small town his senior year of high school, and I was a sophomore when we met. High school sweethearts still exist. However, when I met my husband, he treated me very differently than the rest of the boys I knew. Before meeting my husband, I had kissed many boys, and it granted me a reputation that led me to not being taken seriously, and I found it hard to really connect on a deeper level with really anyone. It felt very lonely. In a small town, reputations are hard to change. And I knew I really didn't want this particular reputation of being shallow or being guilty by association, as some of my friends were beginning to experiment with sex, drugs, and alcohol. I was asking myself, if this isn't really what you want in the future, then why aren't you preparing for it now? So needless to say, that's another piece of good advice. These ladies are like, well, I didn't focus on my career. And then in like 20 years, when I'm done with school and paying off my student loans, and, my vagina's literally dropped on the floor and my infertility is just, a fact of life, then I'll try and have kids and settle down and find a family. Oh my God.
Because that's how it's done, right?
Yeah, wait until the race is over and then go running.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Son of a bitch. Needless to say, my now husband, I don't think was too interested in me when we first met. Nevertheless, he treated me with respect and like I mattered. It was he who showed me my worth. Fast forward to 2022, our youngest daughter at 17 is going through a bad breakup with her first boyfriend. This particular boyfriend had red flags. I don't have many regrets in the methods of raising my children, but one of my top 3 regrets is allowing my kids to have access to a phone after 9 p.m. We began a rule. All cell phones had to be turned into our bedroom at 10 p.m. and that I was able to read any and all conversations.
That's actually a good rule.
It is. I became lax at this rule, and this is where the trouble really began. The said boyfriend of my daughter's was at times emotionally unstable and manipulative. She calls him a gamma male here. And when I became lax with this rule, it got so much worse. Please allow me to elaborate. He would call her names in front of his friends and family and purposely humiliate her. I found out about this later. He was probably raised by a woman then, because they do this to their men on the regular. She finally let me read some of their conversations, and I was floored at the things that he said to her. I remember telling her that it never had her father said anything like that to me, and that if it was me, I'd be done.
Wow.
Their relationship became very strained. It was almost like they were together simply for the familiarity of it. I'm very close with my kids, but especially with my girls. They've always been able to come to me with their struggles, and I remember this daughter of mine had come to me and expressed that she was worried that she wouldn't have options if she broke up with this particular boyfriend. Your friends don't see what you see, and as a parent, it can be hard to convey to them the reality of the potential that awaits them. Surprisingly, it wasn't me who was able to convince my daughter to break up with this loser. It was her friends that were boys. One friend straight out told her that he would like to kiss her and date her. She politely declined since she was dating this other guy, but it did make her realize that she actually had options. When the breakup came, it was very good, but terrifying experience. You see, once she had distance from this boyfriend, she was able to figure out what she really wanted in a partner. She began dating, and that was when her now ex-boyfriend broke into her room in the middle of the night, crying and threatening to beat up the young man she was dating. I don't know how we didn't hear him break in or hear her demanding for him to leave.
Whoa.
But we didn't. And when she told us, my husband and I, in the morning, my husband nearly lost his shit.
That's how you get shot, bro.
Yeah, wow.
That's how you get shot.
He's actually lucky that you didn't hear him. We didn't call the police, but my husband had a very frank conversation face-to-face with this ex-boyfriend. Due to my husband's reaction, our daughter felt safe for the first time in a long time. I could literally see her worry and strife melt away. I now see that she hid things that her ex-boyfriend did to her when they were together because she was afraid of her father's reaction. However, when she realized that his reaction was out of love to protect her, she no longer felt she needed to hide anything and could be freed from the prison she had created. Mothers do not have this power. Only fathers do.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I know that good women exist because of good men that take care of their daughters. I do believe that my life was changed forever when my dad sat me down at 14 and had one conversation with me. I know that my husband has had an enormous influence on my daughters and that their whole lives are shaped by his love, protection, and guidance. I feel like I lucked out because I did not come from a broken home, nor did my husband, so my perspective may be a little skewed. However, if you have daughters and are divorced or come from a broken home, please don't think that your influence doesn't matter. It matters more than you know. Make it a point to be in your daughter's life no matter the interaction. It could change the direction of their lives for the better. Many studies show that single fathers do a better job at raising children than single mothers do. I know the odds are stacked against you, but if you have the ability to fight for full custody, I would dare to encourage you to. I do not say that lightly, as I know the consequences of custody battles. Let the record show in some way that you fought for them, and that alone could mean the difference. The cultural shift is coming. It takes two, both good men and good women. I do believe that you have created a great place to start.
All right.
That was good. Very
That was good. That was good.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
Awesome. Thank you, Raquel. Keep these stories, and even if they're, just this is good advice and it's a story.
Yeah.
So it's all wrapped up in one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I wish all teenage girls thought like she did at that age.
That's some of the things I talked to my daughter about. She's a teenager now.
Yeah. Right around 13 is when the bitch switch gets flipped.
Yep.
All
And
right.
you can see it with these girls in their late teens going into their 20s. Nah, I'm gonna try to prevent that.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fun. What could go
It'll be fine.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.